if you are feeling uneasy lately, like something big is coming and you're feeling all this tension inside of your body, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Angela, and I help sensitive and aware people get free of the thoughts, beliefs, patterns, and habits that keep them in pain. So let's talk about this today, because there are a lot of people who are saying they have this very uneasy feeling, like this buildup in their body, like something's coming, and they feel really afraid of what they're feeling. So that sense of pressure and unease, anticipation, or even dread can feel really confusing and scary and overwhelming. So as always, I want to reassure you that one, nothing is wrong with you. It's totally normal to feel this way, especially as a sensitive person, because our nervous systems pick up collective emotional waves. So anything that everybody is feeling, which everybody is on edge right now, so you can be picking up feelings from other people. The second thing is that we, as human beings, our system is wired to scan for danger. So anytime things are uncertain, it feels dangerous to us at times. So when you get the feeling like something is coming, when you have that sort of nervous anticipation in your body, there are a couple things that can be going on. One is that it's pointing to the fact that we're all changing so much internally. You're going through big changes as a human being, and your changes are very specific to you, and they're very individual. So make sure that you're not comparing yourself to anybody else, because you are going through a big internal change. So that can be part of the uneasiness that you're feeling right now. Going along with that are the identity shifts that we go through when we're going through these internal changes. We're, not sure who we are anymore. We're not sure what direction to move in. There's a lot of uncertainty. And uncertainty, again, sometimes shows up in the body, especially in sensitive nervous systems, as danger, even though there's no danger there whatsoever. The other part of this is your nervous system, because it's adapting to so much so quickly, it is also going through changes. It is realizing that a lot of the old ways it was functioning are no longer necessary and no longer even work. So your nervous system is also shedding its own old stuff and recalibrating itself and trying to get grounded. So there's a lot going on at once. And on top of all this, we're growing. There's a huge growth pattern that we're all in right now. So you can see, with all of these things happening at once, how overwhelming it might feel to your system, and how it might make you feel like there's some kind of danger out there when there really isn't. It's just your body adjusting to new energy, new things that are happening in your body, and trying to find stable ground. That's why, as people with sensitive nervous systems, it's especially important for us to ground ourselves, because our nervous system can't do that on its own. We have to teach it, we have to train it to do what it needs to do to stay relatively even. It's not always going to be perfect, especially in times like this. It's more like, but there are ways that we can definitely calm it down, get ourselves to a grounded place and feel much better about what we're experiencing just by understanding what we're experiencing and reassuring ourselves that we're safe. So the risk of all of this, obviously, when you're going through all these changes and your body's doing all these things and you feel like you're reacting to it, the risk is spiraling into, catastrophic stories where you're just, everything's wrong, everything's terrible, oh my gosh, the world is ending, those kinds of things. And, giving fear your attention, giving fear your authority. There are a lot of powers that be right now that are trying to keep people fighting with each other and trying to keep people distracted with fear and making you believe that, the world is in some big catastrophic state, which it's not. So, and so you have to be very careful not to buy into the fear stories and to keep yourself away from any narrative that tries to make you feel like you need to fight with other people or, somehow keep yourself safe from them. The very, us versus them mentality, that's your clue that somebody's trying to get you riled up and you need to just stay out of it. So, and the last thing is trying to predict and control the future. As sensitive people, we're well versed in this. We are control freaks most of the time, so try not to go there. Try not to spiral into stories where you're trying to predict, okay, on this date, this is going to happen. On that date, there's so many rabbit holes you can fall into right now. Please don't do it. You're just going to make things much worse for yourself. You cannot predict the future. You cannot control the future. It's best to just leave it alone. You need to help yourself handle this moment and this moment only. That is all we are meant to deal with as human beings on this planet. One moment at a time. The second you start going off into an hour from now, 2 hours from now, 2 weeks from now, that's when you'll start to feel the anxiety and the anticipation and the fear building in you. And that's why that's a no-no. Handle what you need to handle right now, right in this moment, and then just keep living moment by moment, and you will feel much better about handling things. So your nervous system regulates better that way. It regulates through, you being present with the moment, you being in the moment and handling only that moment. It freaks out when you start trying to predict and anticipate things. It doesn't work that way. Your safety, your feeling of safety, I should say, is achieved through making small, in the moment choices. And that teaches your nervous system that you are safe and that everything is safe. When you start spiraling off into the future, that's when the nervous system starts to react. So I hope that's everything. That's everything I can think of right now that will help you. You don't need to figure out what's coming. You never need to figure out what's coming. And what's coming isn't, there's nothing you need to prepare for. There's nothing to be afraid of. We are going through a very deep change and an evolutionary shift in consciousness that's never happened on this planet before. So yes, things can get messy. Things can look very scary. And it can feel very real that it's scary. But I want to reassure you that everything that we're experiencing is for our good. Everything is for change. The change that's going to come from these things is overwhelmingly going to be change for the better. And you only need to stay connected to yourself and your nervous system and take care of that and let the rest of the world unfold the way it needs to. You don't have any control over that. Believe me, you wouldn't want to have any control over that. That is something you don't even have to tax your mind for 1 second about. So stay with yourself, take care of yourself, and do the things that you need to do to stay grounded and present and peaceful in your own life. And I promise if you do that, you will create an environment for yourself that helps you heal yourself and help yourself and get free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.